this make it official? Is it an official currency now, Lionel, or is this just another way to trade what may or may not be a currency?
Yeah, probably the latter at this point. I think what you're seeing is basically Bitcoin becoming impossible to ignore because of the huge, very speculative jumps in its value, in its price. And that is pressuring investment funds to then ask their brokers, ask their banks to help them trade this without being exposed to what is still a very risky asset. So we are seeing Wall Street respond, I think, to pressures from customers and the threat of competition if somebody else gets there first.
And of course, Lionel, the irony is that Bitcoin was created in part to circumvent the financial system and now appears to be poised to become more and more a part of it. What do you think the implications and possible negative implications in particular could be?
Well, I think that it's a bit of a quandary for Wall Street. They clearly think they are smart enough to allow people to trade on the volatility alone, on the price gains alone, without ever having to really wade in and actually hold the underlying asset. That could go one of two ways. Yes, it could legitimize and bring more volumes to this asset class without increasing the risk. But it could also lead to a lot of losses if Bitcoin, which is, again, a very experimental, very speculative asset, if that drops to $0 or $65 or balloons to $65,000, it could go anywhere. So this is uncharted territory, I think.
Yeah, I mean, currency trading anyway is not supposed to be for the average retail client in a lot of ways. Let's have a listen to what Terry Duffy of the CME had to say yesterday to our own Scarlett Fu.
I've seen a lot of different bubbles over the last 37 years as I've been in this business, but it's not up for me to predict if it's a bubble or not. So you could talk about the housing bubble, you could talk about the tech bubble, you could talk about a whole host of things. What I'm here to do is to help people manage risk, and we're to do it in the most effective way under a regulated platform.
It's true, right, Lionel? It's not up to him to regulate this. I mean, Jamie Dimon as well. He may not like the idea of Bitcoin being there, but some of the banks are certainly going to be happy to trade it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that he's talking about managing risk. I think it's a bit much to say that people need to manage Bitcoin risk the way they need to manage currency risk or commodity risk. For me, this is really about speculation. It's about trading. It's about cashing in on gains. Wall Street thinks it can do this in a smart, in a way that minimizes risk. Let's wait and see. For me, this is still very much about trading speculation, not about underlying need or risk management.